The Blessing Goveni Art Prize Foundation is a non-profit organization that is dedicated to fostering creative talent amongst the youth and emerging artists. Our aim is to equip the artists that we work with and engage with the necessary information, skills, and tools to maintain professional careers. We want to make sure that they have the right foundation and confidence to pursue their creative ambitions.
We really did it. This is the most successful, the biggest, the most inclusive, and honestly the most beneficial art residency in Africa for artists. It is truly such an amazing organization, and the fact that it is artist-led as well is a testament that artists can really do anything they put their minds out to. You know, this is the first organization that I have encountered that encourages artists to diversify themselves. We have built something beautiful over the past 10 years, and I'm very proud to sit here and to be part of this amazing team.
Hi, my name is Blessing Goveni. I'm the chairperson of BNAP Foundation. The idea of BNAP Foundation began, I think, in 2012 when I was at the Bag Factory. After when I won the Reinhold Casero Award, then as I was sitting there in my residence, something crossed my mind about the idea of how the art world can accept young black artists, to be part of the world of art. So I thought, for me to be accepted by that award, that the art world, I had to win the award first. It was not just that the art world just accepted me. So I thought that let me just also be part of these award creators, where it can also assist young up-and-coming artists to launch their career, in the art world. And also it was wanting to also see my name growing with me, supporting other young artists in that sense, not where I will die first and somebody will take my name and use it for their benefits. So I wanted to see it growing with me. I think it was because of the idea of wanting to see the progress, the progression of the award itself while I'm alive. And because of that frustration, I had to now start discussing with my colleagues, which is Teresa Fermino Kutala and Olwetu DeForce. And then they supported the idea, and they're like, okay, why not? Why can't we do it? Let's do it.
Hi, my name is Teresa Kutala Firmino, and I'm a founder of the Blessing Goveni Art Prize. In the beginning, we didn't have a lot of financial hurdles. In the beginning, the studio was funded by Blessing Goveni himself. But as the BNAP started growing, we needed to get more funding. So Blessing started auctioning some of his works, so we can raise more funds, but that over time did not become sustainable. So we started contacting different sponsors, and we started teaming up with Everard Reed and our current sponsors to kind of raise funds for our artists. And obviously the artists' demands became a lot more. They needed not only a studio, but they also needed materials, they needed a stipend, they needed a show. So as we grew, our financial responsibilities became a lot more for the artists. Some of our sponsors give us time, give us space. Sometimes they connect us with different people. And some of those collaborations are very valuable, more than giving money, because they open up a lot more opportunities for BNAP and their artists. Getting the right network at the right time can be a lot more beneficial than receiving a certain amount of money. Collaborations also allow the artists to kind of navigate the art industry, and also develop their own networks, as I said.
My name is Olwethu De Force. I am the art director and co-founder of the Blessing Ngobeni Art Prize Foundation.
When we started off, it was very small. And as I said, we're about giving back to the community and equipping young talent. And we were just a collective of artists then. It was just myself, Blessing, and Teresa, and we didn't have the necessary background and experience. So a lot of the things we were winging it. We worked with one artist at a time per year, basically. In terms of operations, we volunteered our services for many years. So everything was done from passion, and we were not necessarily approaching the foundation from a business perspective. It was more a passion project. But then, the more that we did it, with each year that passed, we realized the impact that it was having within the creative community and ecosystem, and also the necessity of it. And our perspective started changing from it being a passion project to it being a business. Our intention behind the selection process is to give more artists an opportunity to showcase their works and to connect with the right art organizations, instead of us focusing our resources and efforts on just the winner. So we go through their applications. They need to submit a portfolio of their recent work within the past year, and also they need to submit a project proposal of what they're going to do for the residency and what they want for their career. So the team goes through that, and we receive about 400 to 500 applications. So it is a very intensive it's a very intensive time of narrowing it down to like a top 20. And then the people that made it for the top 20 get interviewed. And through those interviews, we get to understand their vision better. We see the artwork live, because sometimes seeing something on an image and seeing the work physically there, sometimes there's a very huge difference, and that helps us decide whether if the artists that applied are ready for the residency. And sometimes it also helps us decide whether if we have the capacity to help that individual, because sometimes some artists are really ahead in their career and there isn't much mentorship for us as the foundation that we can do for them. But then that's how we get to our top 10 finalists, and then they get to have a group exhibition here at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange building. They need to produce one new artwork that is aligned with the project proposal that they applied with, and they have a month to produce that one new artwork, and that artwork will be exhibited along with 2 other artworks that they applied with in their portfolio. Then they present this work.
I'm Balisa Sutani. I am the senior curator here at BNAP Foundation. I started in 2021, and at the time BNAP Foundation was going through a transition where we were moving from being a local art residency to being a more international and inclusive art residency. So it was a great time for me to start working with the team, and also my contribution curatorially was that I got to work more hands-on with the artists that apply for our art prize. Our mentorship structure actually begins through our selection process. Once we've selected our finalists get to meet our curators, they get to meet our whole team, who is made up of very established artists, if I may say. So the mentorship process that they go through is having hands-on experience from the artists that we work with. This is namely Blessing, Teresa, and Olwetu, and getting more insight on how to develop their practices and how to develop their artworks moving into the group show that we host at the JSE. Emerging artists struggle with a combination of both, or all three. You know, financial matters, marketing, legal matters as well as professional practice too, because a lot of the applications that we receive are from artists who haven't engaged with the art market on a professional level, whether it's through a gallery or it's through a residency space such as ours. So I think it's a combination of all these different aspects that we have the opportunity to, I guess, mentor and incubate these young artists through. You know, financial matters, we are very fortunate to work with Sihole and Associates, which is an art accountancy firm here in Johannesburg, and this allows artists to get in-depth knowledge on how to take care of their taxes and how to budget for their studio practices, as well as other artistic activities that may come up during and throughout their career. In terms of South Africa as a whole, I think we need to be more inclusive, especially to artists who are self-taught, in giving them the tools to create curatorial concepts around their work, and also featuring them and including them in group exhibitions where it is curatorially directed. I think that also gives an artist a sense of development and a sense of mentorship as well, to see how their work fits in a different narrative that they probably didn't consider before, you know. So yeah, it's really cool being a curator. Building a legacy one masterpiece at a time. BNAP Foundation.
Building a legacy one masterpiece at a time. BNAP Foundation.
Building a legacy one masterpiece at a time. Congratulations, BNAP, for 10 years in the art industry.
Building a legacy one masterpiece at a time. BNAP Foundation. Congratulations to all our 2026 finalists.